You won't believe this. A scandal has shaken the world of reality TV, and trust me, this is where it gets interesting. Jennifer Williams, the star of Basketball Wives, found herself caught in the middle of a shocking controversy when her husband, Christian Gold, was accused of running a Ponzi scheme. Yes, you heard that right. 21 people came forward, filing a lawsuit against him in an Atlanta court, claiming that he had scammed them out of their hard-earned money. But here's the shocking part. This wasn't just a small scam. These people believed they were investing in something big, something promising. Instead, their money seemed to disappear into thin air. And the craziest part, Christian allegedly used the money from new investors to pay off the old ones, making it look like everything was fine. Sounds like a financial thriller, right? Well, this was real life. Christian Gold, also known as Christian Walden, was not new to trouble. His name had already been linked to legal issues before, but this time things looked even worse. The plaintiffs claimed that he didn't just trick a few people. He may have done this to 150 victims across the country. Imagine thinking you're making a smart financial move, only to realize that the person you trusted had been playing a dangerous game with your money. And if you think this was just about losing money, think again. The lawsuit didn't just accuse Christian of fraud. It also included serious allegations of wire fraud, racketeering, and embezzlement under the Georgia RICO Act. If proven guilty, this wasn't just about paying the money back. This could mean serious jail time. But here's where it gets even crazier. Jennifer Williams, his wife, was standing right there in the middle of it all. Was she just an innocent wife caught in the storm, or did she know more than she let on? Now, let me tell you how things got even messier. This wasn't the first time Christian had problems with the law. Just last year, he violated his probation in the most unexpected way. He was supposed to stay in Georgia and inform his probation officer if he was leaving the state. But destiny took an unexpected turn when he was caught in Europe. Not because the authorities tracked him, but because of Jennifer's Instagram posts. That's right. His probation officer saw him in pictures from Jennifer's social media, living his best life overseas when he wasn't even supposed to leave Georgia. And the result? Christian was sent straight to jail. But wait, this is where it gets even more interesting. Despite being locked up, Christian still managed to get special permission to leave the country for his wedding in Paris. Yes, you heard that correctly. A man accused of breaking his probation and now facing fraud charges still got to have his dream wedding. Does that sound normal to you? Because to many people it didn't. The internet exploded with questions. How did Christian manage to get permission so easily? Was Jennifer pulling some strings? Was their lavish wedding just a distraction from the real trouble waiting for him back home? People started digging into their past, and the more they looked, the more suspicious things became. Some fans believed that Jennifer had nothing to do with his business, that she was just a wife supporting her husband, but others weren't so sure. After all, she had been by his side through all of this. Was it possible that she knew exactly what was going on, or was she just another victim of Christian's lies? One thing was certain, this story was far from over. But here's the part that left everyone speechless. This wasn't just a simple case of fraud. The deeper people looked, the more twisted the story became. Christian Gold wasn't just accused of taking money, he was accused of building an entire empire on lies. The plaintiffs claimed that he operated with the confidence of a seasoned scam artist, convincing people that he had exclusive investment opportunities that would change their lives. He made grand promises, used flashy presentations, and even showed fake success stories to lure in new investors. And this is where it gets even crazier. Many of these victims were people he personally knew. Friends, colleagues, even acquaintances who trusted him. Imagine waking up one day and realizing that someone you considered a friend had used you as part of a grand scheme. That's exactly how these victims felt. But what makes this story different? It wasn't just the number of people affected. It was the amount of money involved. The lawsuit mentioned 125 to 160, 86, but investigators believe that the real number could be much higher. Some sources even hinted that Christian could have taken millions from people all over the country. If that was true, then this wasn't just a scandal, it was a full-blown financial crime. And here's the craziest part. Christian acted like nothing was wrong. He continued living a lavish lifestyle, traveling with Jennifer, attending high-profile events, and even sharing their glamorous moments on social media. People started asking, how was he still walking free? How could someone accused of such serious crimes still live like a celebrity? Then, just when everyone thought they had heard it all, another shocking detail came to light. Some of the victims claimed that when they started asking for their money back, Christian didn't just ignore them, he threatened them. Yes, instead of returning the money, he allegedly tried to intimidate those who questioned him. This changed everything. Now, this wasn't just about fraud and wire fraud. If these allegations were true, it could lead to even more serious criminal charges. But here's where it gets interesting. Jennifer Williams had remained completely silent throughout all of this. No statements, no interviews, nothing. Some fans defended her, saying she had no part in her husband's business and didn't deserve the backlash. But others weren't convinced. If Christian had built his entire life on a lie, how could Jennifer have missed it? Was she really in the dark, or was she choosing to stay silent because she knew more than she was letting on? And then a new twist turned everything upside down. A mystery investor stepped forward, claiming they had proof that Christian had been running this scheme for much longer than anyone suspected. If this was true, it meant that Christian didn't just start this scam recently, he had been doing this for years. People were now wondering, was this a carefully planned con? Had Christian been running from the law all this time, using different names and changing locations to avoid getting caught? And if so, how deep did this go? This was no longer just a celebrity scandal. This was a case that could bring down an entire network of fraud. And at the center of it all was Jennifer Williams, the woman who had built a career on reality TV drama, but was now facing a real-life storm that could ruin everything. Was she an innocent wife caught in the mess, or was she protecting secrets that could destroy her? But just when everyone thought the story couldn't get any wilder, something unexpected happened. New hidden details about Christian's past started surfacing, and let me tell you, this is where it gets truly insane. It turned out that this wasn't the first time Christian had been accused of shady business dealings. Before he even met Jennifer Williams, there were whispers about his questionable financial activities. Old acquaintances started speaking up, claiming that Christian had a pattern of jumping from one business scheme to another, always promising big returns, but never delivering. The craziest part? Some people allege that he had used fake identities in the past to keep his scams running without getting caught. If these claims were true, then Christian wasn't just a man who made a bad financial decision. He was a serial fraudster who had been playing this dangerous game for years. But here's where it gets even more suspicious. Jennifer Williams had always portrayed herself as a smart, independent woman. Fans started questioning, how could someone so business savvy not notice any red flags? Some believe she was genuinely unaware of Christian's dealings, while others weren't buying it. Could she have ignored the signs on purpose? Or worse, was she involved in some way? The internet exploded with theories, and Jennifer's silence only made things more suspicious. People wanted answers, and they wanted them fast. Then, in a shocking turn of events, one of Christian's former business partners stepped forward, revealing even more about his alleged crimes. According to this source, Christian didn't just trick investors. He used their money to fund his luxury lifestyle. Private jets, 5-star vacations, designer clothes, and of course, extravagant gifts for Jennifer. This is where it gets really interesting. If these allegations were true, it meant that Jennifer's lavish lifestyle might have been paid for with stolen money. And if that was the case, she could end up facing legal trouble too. The tension reached a breaking point when some of Christian's victims started demanding an investigation into Jennifer's finances. They wanted to know if any of their stolen money had made its way into her bank accounts. If authorities decided to take a closer look at Jennifer's financial records, things could go from bad to worse for the reality star. And this is where destiny took an unexpected turn, because Jennifer finally broke her silence. After weeks of speculation, Jennifer released a statement, but instead of clearing things up, it only made things even more confusing. She claimed that she had nothing to do with Christian's business and that she was just as shocked as everyone else. But here's the problem. Her statement didn't address the real questions. She didn't explain how she had been living a life of luxury while Christian was allegedly scamming people. She didn't mention the lavish wedding in Paris, the extravagant trips, or the expensive gifts. And most importantly, she didn't say whether or not she would stand by Christian now that the truth was coming out. At this point, people were more divided than ever. Some believed Jennifer was innocent, just another victim in Christian's web of lies. Others were convinced that she knew more than she was letting on and was now trying to distance herself before things got worse. But here's the real question. If Jennifer was truly innocent, then why did she wait so long to speak up? And then, just when everyone thought they had seen it all, a bombshell revelation changed everything. And this is where it gets absolutely mind-blowing, because the bombshell that dropped next changed everything people thought they knew about this scandal. Just when Jennifer Williams was trying to clear her name and distance herself from the accusations against Christian, new court documents leaked that suggested she might not have been as innocent as she claimed. Let me tell you, this was the moment that had everyone's jaw on the floor. These documents allegedly show financial transactions linking Jennifer to Christian's business activities, transactions that raised serious questions about how much she really knew. Now, here's the craziest part. Some of these transactions reportedly took place before their wedding. That meant Jennifer may have been involved, or at the very least, aware of Christian's financial dealings long before this scandal blew up. And if that was true, then her statement claiming she had nothing to do with it started to sound very suspicious. But here's where it gets even worse. One of Christian's alleged victims came forward claiming that Jennifer had personally reassured them about the legitimacy of Christian's investments. Yes, you heard that right. Someone was now saying that Jennifer didn't just stand by Christian. She actually helped convince people that his investment schemes were real. If this was true, then Jennifer Williams wasn't just a reality TV star caught up in a scandal. She was potentially an accomplice. And this is where it gets really interesting, because legal experts started speculating that if these allegations held up in court, Jennifer herself could be investigated for fraud. Imagine that, a reality star known for drama on TV, now facing real-life criminal charges. People online were going crazy, arguing over whether Jennifer was a victim or a villain. Some believed she had been played by Christian, just like the investors, but others weren't so sure. They pointed out that Jennifer had lived a life of luxury for years, with no clear source of income other than reality TV. Could it be possible that she knew exactly where Christian's money was coming from, but chose to ignore it? And just when you thought it couldn't get worse, another shocking twist came to light. Investigators started looking into Jennifer and Christian's wedding in Paris. And let's just say, what they found was very suspicious. Allegedly, some of the wedding expenses may have been paid for using the same investor money that Christian had stolen. If this was true, then Jennifer wasn't just benefiting from Christian's wealth. She was literally celebrating her marriage with money that rightfully belonged to his victims. The idea that a romantic fairy tale wedding could be funded by fraud was too much for people to handle. At this point, the public was completely divided. Some still believed Jennifer was just another victim, a woman who unknowingly married the wrong man and was now dealing with the consequences. But others thought this was bigger than just Christian, and Jennifer might have been involved way more than she was admitting. The pressure was on, and people wanted answers, and then, just when it seemed like Jennifer had nowhere left to hide, something totally unexpected happened that no one saw coming.